Welcome to AI Cooking. Today, I'm making classic puff pastry dough using a recipe suggested by AI. I'm using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of oil, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, half cup of cold water, 3/4 cup of ghee. Using Sufi ghee as AI suggested me use this. Adding salt. Adding sugar. Gently mix the ingredients by hand until well combined. Adding oil. Once you add the oil, the dough becomes smoother and easier to handle. It won't stick to your hands, making the kneading process much easier. I'm using a dough hook attachment here, but if you don't have a machine, you can easily knead the dough by hand until it's smooth and well combined. Always ensure the water is cold when adding it. This is key to getting the perfect puff pastry texture. Add a little water first and mix it with your hand to get it started. Let the machine do the work while you slowly add the rest of the water. Make sure to remove any dough stuck to the attachment before starting the machine. This will prevent it from wobbling or shifting during mixing. The dough feels a little too soft, and it should be tighter. I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of flour to adjust the consistency. First, I'll give it a quick mix by hand to help incorporate the flour, then I'll switch back to the machine for kneading. The dough is now soft, smooth, and no longer sticking to the hands, which means it's ready for the next step. Lightly dust the surface with some dry flour. Now I'm going to roll out the dough and start the folding process. Because the temperature is a bit high, I'll fold it into a rectangular shape and place it in the fridge to chill. I folded the dough just like this. I'm going to wrap this dough now. If you don't have cling film, don't worry, AI has given me some amazing alternative wrapping tips that I'll share with you at the end of this video. Next, I'm preparing the puff filling by placing ice in a bowl and adding water. I'll mix in the ghee, then chill the mixture in the fridge for 10 minutes now that it's allow chilled. The ghee to solidify. I'm taking it out of the fridge and separating the ghee from the ice just like this. Next, I'm wrapping the solid ghee and storing it in the fridge so it stays in firm form until I use it. Now I'm using a cold version of the double boiler method. I've placed one steel bowl with cold water and another one on top to hold the ghee and keep it cool. I tested the temperature by adding a small amount of ghee, and since it began to firm up immediately, it's ready. I'll now add the remaining solid ghee in small chunks. I'm using the mixer attachment just to prepare the ghee mixture for the puff layers. You can also do this by hand, but it requires a bit of patience and gentle mixing. Since the water wasn't staying cold enough, I added some ice to keep the temperature stable throughout the process. You can see the difference now after adding the ice. The ghee is setting beautifully and starting to form that classic puff texture. Just look at how amazing this puff turned out. Can't wait to see what happens in the next AI-guided recipe. Does it really work? Or is AI just bluffing? Let's find out together. Now wrap it up and allow it to chill until it firms up completely. The puff mixture has firmed up nicely and the dough is cool, so I'm going to wrap the solid puff inside the dough to begin the layering process. Just look at how beautifully this puff came together by following AI steps. I'm now wrapping it in the dough and forming it into a rectangle for the perfect layers. Next, I'll rest the dough in the fridge. This resting period is essential in puff pastry making, as it helps develop layers and texture. I've refrigerated it for 30 minutes, not frozen. That's important for proper resting. The dough is solid and ready, so I'll now begin rolling it out and starting the lamination process. Roll gently and evenly to maintain smooth layers. Rolling this dough feels so calming. Or is it just me? Tell me in the comments, do you find this satisfying too? Brush off any extra dry flour before wrapping. After filling the puff, I wrapped it for the first time and now I'm letting it rest. Have you ever tried making puff pastry? I want to know, do you find it as interesting and exciting as I do? Or am I just super excited with AI's help? Rest it for 30 minutes. Now it's time to get back to the dough. I'm folding and shaping it into a rectangle. The layers are stacking up and the puff magic is about to happen. Are you as pumped as I am? Once I'm done rolling, it's time for the second layering and then I'll wrap it up. You can use cling film or try the smart little trick I suggested earlier. After resting and rolling it 3 times, we've made it to the final roll. The layers are built, we're so close to the finish. Final roll done. Folding it now and letting it rest again. Fingers crossed, let's hope all that effort paid off and we've actually got some real layers, not just endless rolling. Wow! It's giving layers before even hitting the oven. And now for the star moment, AI's super cheap cling wrap trick. Take a clean, transparent plastic shopping bag and cut both sides. Use whatever works best for you, like scissors or a cutter. Cut both sides this way and flatten it into a square or rectangular sheet, just enough to wrap the dough easily. Since this plastic comes in double layers, I'm carefully cutting along one side to separate it into single sheets for easier wrapping. Thanks for watching. This AI-powered puff pastry recipe and wrap hack make cooking easy. Subscribe and hit the bell for more smart recipes. See you soon!